Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tuesday's Market SITREP or Situation Report here at TGO, Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Whiz, and folks, had a just very honored and humbled last night. The Florida Panthers had me and the family down there, and I was their hometown hero of the game. So got to be out on the ice for the national anthem, and you know, very, very, very special moment for me. Glad my mom was there, and two out of three of my kids. My oldest son Matthew had to go back to Norwich University, where he's in the Corps of Cadets. Wants to be a Marine fighter pilot, taken after his old man. So very cool. Glad my mom was there, like I said, and I think I could hear my dad yelling from somewhere, "That's my boy." So, like I said, honored and humbled. But the hometown heroes moniker, to me, the true heroes are the 11 folks that I buried, 11 naval aviators that were killed, that I was very good friends with during my time on active duty, and everybody who has made the ultimate sacrifice and hasn't come home. So thank you to the Panthers. It's much appreciated. Thank you for your hospitality. Okay, let's go ahead and get airborne. It's really interesting that the market's essentially flat. Dow's maybe plus or minus 30, was down triple digits at one point. We should be a lot lower right now because President Trump came out this morning and really blasted, saying, "Hey, stand by for more tariffs," which is just not what the U.S. stocks fall after Trump warns on China tariffs. So, seeing some big call buying on the SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, bullish activity out to next week. I got to be honest with you. I think the market, like we've talked about, we're down here on this little bit of a precipice. We're holding barely by the skin of our teeth these October lows. I think the market is. Let me say it like this: the market is really, really, really lowering expectations for anything to happen out of the G20 summit when President Trump and Xi kind of shake hands. But to be honest with you, we might get a short-term bounce if they shake hands and smile and say, "Hey, we'll try and figure this thing out." But there's a lot of I'd sell into that bounce, man. There's a lot of devils in the details, and there's a lot of macro stuff going on around the world that are potential issues as well. But to be honest with you, for me, it's not the closest alligator to the boat is not the G20 summit. It is the Fed head tomorrow at what time is he speaking? We got a lot of macroeconomic data coming out tomorrow, and we did today at noon tomorrow. The Fed chairman is going to speak in a very appropriately titled "The Federal Reserve's Framework for Monitoring Financial Stability." Well, take a look at this chart, Mr. Chairman, and how's the financial stability looking? So it's going to be an interesting speech because we got some weak macroeconomic data today. Look at the starting to see some canaries in the coal mine here. Look at the S&P Case-Shiller housing index implosion, big miss. It was strong. They forecasted weak. It was even weaker. This is a big miss. The Conference Board's consumer confidence number was a big miss as well. So, based on macroeconomic data, things are starting to slow down a little bit. So the Fed, which is never in the history of the Federal Reserve, engineered a, quote, soft landing. This might be the one time they do it. That's why I think next month when the Fed meets, or maybe even what Mr. Powell says tomorrow, we get kind of a, hey, we're going to raise, but be done, kind of a one and done for a while. And Amazon, Cyber Monday was the biggest shopping day in the company's history. I saw a stat that said 50% of every dollar spent was with Amazon. So Amazon, I expected a stronger bounce off of this. So Amazon seeing a little bit of a bounce. Visa got a little bit of a bounce. XRT, the retail ETF, we have a couple positions in, a little bit of a bounce. And XLY, same thing. This is kind of our good proxy for Amazon for our long-term plays, got a little bit of a bounce. This isn't good. And here's why I tell you this, because the headline since, Black Friday was pulled forward to Thanksgiving Thursday. I mean, 28% increase in sales year over year on Thursday. So people are kind of ignoring being with their family and starting to buy on Thursdays. But with all these just absolutely incredible headlines, this is what we got out of it. Okay, so the three F's that I've talked about lately, Friday, Black Friday, the fight, the trade war, and the Fed, Well, the Friday's behind us. It was epic as we predicted, and the market's not giving us the reaction. So remember one of our Whizisms here. If the market's not doing what you think it should be doing, you're wrong, not the market. So we gotta evaluate what's going on here, because as I predicted, I think we're going lower. I think we are heading lower. For a lot of reasons, and we have a 1 o'clock primary live trade brief that we're going to talk about a lot of these reasons. This story makes me furious. So does everybody remember Barack Hussein Obama, our Manchurian candidate president, bailed out GM, right? All his union buddies at GM. He actually fired the CEO of General Motors. I must have a really old copy of the Constitution. Can somebody show me in this copy of the Constitution where it says the president of the United States can fire a CEO? But anyway, so they took all of our tax dollars that bailed them out, and they're doing what? Keep producing in China, despite the president saying, hey, bring those jobs and money home. So there's a great American company, right, full of union members who took your money, my money, and went to China, and they're staying there. That doesn't make you furious. I don't know what will. Well, a lot of stuff will. Like me getting banned from Twitter permanently. Some guy was saying, oh, these ICE and Border Patrol people are cowards. All these people are doing is throwing rocks at them. I'm like, have you ever had a rock thrown at your head? It's a deadly weapon. And apparently on Twitter, I said to somebody, I'm like, how about I come to your house and throw rocks at you? How would you feel about that? Permanently deleted my account. 4,000 Twitter followers gone in the blink of an eye because they said that was targeted harassment or a threat. There you go, folks. Sell the shit out of those FANG stocks. I told you a year ago those stocks were going to implode just on that type of stupidity. While at the same time on Twitter, Louis Farrakhan, good buddies with Barack Hussein Obama, it calls for the extermination and killing of all Jews. So that dude, Twitter lets him speak freely, but a guy like me, hometown hero, right? Fought for free speech, and Twitter's ending it. What a bunch of jackwads. Anyway, OPEC open to risking Trump's ire prompted by budgets and shale. Most of the cartel's nations risk steep deficits after the oil price crash. So a week ago, the president was thanking Saudi Arabia for low gas prices. Days after he said, my CIA doesn't know what it's talking about. MBS wasn't involved in the killing of that quote-unquote journalist. That dude's if you write 2 op-eds for the Washington Post, you're a journalist. I mean, hell, I'm the Empire journalist of the universe, if that's their metric. But anyway, so OPEC, shocker, Saudi Arabia, shocker, after being praised by the president, turning around and potentially stabbing him in the back. And guys, I got to be honest with you, the $700 on average Americans save annualized with cheap gas prices does nothing for the economy. When we get low oil like this, Exxon, Schlumberger, you name it, they start laying off dudes in West Texas, dudes down in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and these are high-paying jobs. When you start shutting down half of Midland, Texas, there goes the real estate market, there goes the little restaurants, there goes people not having to get gas. It's not good for the economy. Do not listen to the cheerleaders on CNBC telling you that low gas prices adds, 0.25% to the GDP. It's simply not true. And you haven't heard any of those cheerleaders lately because the last time oil imploded and they cheered for 2 months, the math was in my favor. I ended up being right that low oil prices is not good. When ExxonMobil picks up the phone and calls, whoever builds their super tankers and say, that clause that says, we can exercise our out op. Yeah, we don't want these 2 tankers yet, maybe in a couple years. Oof, that's not good, man. It's 5,000 jobs in a shipyard that are gone. So be careful, be very, because when you think about it, if you save $5 at the pump, first of all, I don't even look at what the hell the gas, I'm not one of those people that drives by, town to town going, oh, wow, look at the gas here. That's just, I think my mom's like that, and it drives me nuts. But if you stand there at the pump and go, wow, I saved $7 on gas, this week, what do you do with that $7? You do nothing with it. It's not like you run inside and buy, a couple Slim Jims and some, and a Frappuccino. It doesn't go back into the economy, guys. So don't believe the low gas is good for the market. So no refuge for investors in 2018 as everything is going lower. Things that should be going up are going down right now. That's why I'm telling you we're going lower, because we haven't seen institutional or kind of this exhausted or washed out selling. So I think we go lower unless the president pulls a rabbit out of his hat in Buenos Aires, which he could. I mean, everybody's lowered the net so low that if they shake hands and smile, the market's going to rally. short term, folks. I just don't. The devil's in the details. The president might be posturing in front of the meeting. But it's pretty interesting posturing. And the market really isn't caring at all about what I briefed you on yesterday, what's going on in Ukraine. We have a defense agreement with Ukraine that says if you're ever attacked by Russia, we'll step in and defend you. Anybody see that on the news? Have you heard one word out of the president about Ukraine? You haven't. So that's pretty interesting that Putin, is poking Ukraine indirectly the United States, and we're doing nothing about it. I'm not going to go with some Russia collusion theory, but I think the president's just kind of turning a blind eye to that, and that's unsatisfactory. Not too happy with the president there. So if you saw, on the one hand, he's given NATO members shit about not paying their fair share, and we're having to defend them against Russia, and then we have an agreement to defend Ukraine, and we're doing nothing that they that we promised. That's not good. We have to live up to our agreements. And this only bullies Macron, President Macron of France's call a couple weeks ago to, hey man, we got to come up with our own European force to counteract Russia, China, and the United States. It was kind of a slap in the face to us and our war dead that are buried all over France. But interesting dynamics, guys. The market only cares when it cares, and right now, I guess it really doesn't care about what's going on in Ukraine or Russia aggression. Volatility's essentially flat right now, as we've talked about. VXX and volatility goes down over time, so this volatility is kind of exhausted up here. Can it go up again? Sure, but my bet is that it's heading lower here. But anyway, I got to get ready for our 1 o'clock brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. And this afternoon at 4:30, check your email. I'm going to be hosting a Analyze Your Trade session over Timing Research. So we got a good round table of folks that are going to be joining us. I'll actually post it on our Top Gun Options Facebook page. So check out our Facebook page for the link to join me at 4:30 today for a free Timing Research Analyze Your Trade session. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you.